What up? 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 What's up, everybody? What is up, everybody? It is your boy Darian, and I am live, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, I am live, man. I'm live the old-fashioned way until my boy Leo comes up in here for Nothing But Raiders podcast episode 9, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so not episode 9, I'm sorry. Episode 15, ladies and gentlemen. Episode 15. Definitely in the building. What is going on, y'all? I am happy to finally do a live stream over here again. I'm trying to do it on a consistent basis as much as possible, but it's been really hard to try to do, podcasts on this side now that my other channel is booming and is growing and anything. But I just want to give a quick shout out to the person that got the beautiful hat here. The beautiful hat. I know if y'all see it, right? A little bit different, right? Shout out to my boys over at Hard Knocks LA. Hard Knocks LA. Shout out for the hat, ladies and gentlemen. Shout out for the hat. Really do appreciate you, brother, for bringing this here to me, bringing this hat to me, man. And it's dope, man. I like that the shield thing is a little bit upside down. It makes it a little bit more creative, ladies and gentlemen. It makes it a little bit more creative. But I am happy and I am excited to talk Raiders football with y'all, man. It's good to finally do a Nothing But Raiders podcast. Leo should be on his way soon. He is at work, so hopefully we can get that going real soon. But make sure y'all come on in and hit that like button and subscribe to the channel and let the people know that we're live and we're here for a great show, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know who else the other content creators are live, but I really don't care to know who else is live at this moment because we here, man. We here and we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about a few topics that I got on my mind here. And I seen it I read a few articles today. And I know y'all see the title about Josh Jacobs and Trey Lance and Budda Baker, more news and more nice brim. Thank you so much, man. Really do appreciate it, Dave Bigelow. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Really do appreciate you, brother. Really do appreciate you, man. I'm trying to see where my overlay is for some reason. I thought I had an overlay, but I guess not. I guess not. I don't have an overlay. Let me see if I can fix this layout real quick. Let me see if I can fix this layout. Because I know that we have it like that. Okay, so we could work like this. We could work like this until my boy Leo comes up into the building here. But yeah, let's talk a little bit. Let's talk a little bit, ladies and gentlemen. And we're going to talk about it, man. I'm gonna keep it a buck with y'all. Josh Jacobs is not going to voluntary workouts. Not coming to voluntary workouts, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm not mad at him. I'm not mad at Josh Jacobs of not going to the voluntary workouts because he did not sign the franchise tag. Now, unfortunately, we all know Josh Jacobs need to be paid. We know that. We know that Josh Jacobs need to be paid. We know that he deserves his money. But right now, when it comes to the running back market, you see that Saquon Barkley didn't get his money either. And then there's a lot of other players out there that's not even at the running back position. Is looking really bad for the running backs lately. And I don't want to talk about Josh Jacobs in that aspect. I really don't. But if you look at the running backs, Ezekiel Elliott getting released, Derrick Henry getting traded, Dalvin Cook might be getting cut. And then you got Saquon Barkley, he's holding out for a franchise tag. And now it's Josh Jacobs. So that's 5 running backs that's trying to get deals done or trying to find a new home. And the running back position is not really valuable as it used to be. But for Josh Jacobs, he's valuable to us. So at the end of the day, I feel where Josh Jacobs coming from. He actually held this team on his back majority of the year when it comes to running the football. We're not gonna say nothing about when it comes to Devontae Adams because Devontae Adams is did he put the team on his back at the wide receiver position. So we can't really say it was really with Devontae Adams where when it came, I don't believe that narrative. We the people, you can believe that narrative all you want, but I don't feel like running back. I just feel like running backs are not being valued in the NFL anymore. That's just my personal opinion on it. I just feel like they're not being valued like that. You have to have a running back by committee, and Running backs are not getting paid like they used to. Let's keep it real. Let's keep it real. Running backs are not getting paid like they used to because running backs don't last like quarterbacks do. So you can't really picture the quarterback thing and the running back thing in the same thing. Running backs don't last in the NFL anymore. They just don't. If you don't have a running back by committee, it's not going to last. You see what's happening to Zeke. Zeke lost his job to Tony Pollard. Even Tony Pollard got hurt. We know that Josh Jacobs is not losing his job, but I don't see. But we don't know we know Saquon Barkley not losing his job. But what I'm saying is that you have to you have to it has to be some type of negotiation in between. It gotta be some type of agreement between the Las Vegas Raiders and Josh Jacobs. It gotta be. Yes, you want to pay that man. You do. But how long of longevity you want to pay him for? That's what I think the contract issue is. That's just me. That's just me. And my co-host is finally officially here, man. My co-host is officially here. What is up, brother? What is up?
What's up, bro? How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good, man. I'm doing pretty good. You know what I'm saying? So talking about, some Josh Jacobs talk, because I just feel like when it comes to it, that Josh Jacobs getting his money, yes, he deserves his bag. And I'm not taking that away for it. But I feel like the NFL now is not really valuing running like one running back anymore. You gotta have a running back by committee.
Stable. Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta have you gotta have stability at the running back position. And I just feel like yes, Josh Jacobs need to get paid, but at the same time, I feel like the Raiders and Josh Jacobs need to come to an agreement of what the longevity of the contract is. Because
Yeah.
I don't feel like it's the money. I feel like it's the length of the
Hmm.
contract and what makes Josh Jacobs is holding out.
Yeah.
So what are your thoughts on it, man?
No, man, I'm with you on that. Like, sadly, it's crazy to see how the league has devalued that position. When you look
Hmm.
at the structure of who's the highest paid positions to the lowest one, and it shocked me when I saw that running back was one of the lowest. Like, bro, you got dudes like Henry, Jacobs, just balling out there, smashing on teams. But man, does Jacob deserve his bag? Hell yeah, I think he deserves his bag. Should the Raiders give it to him? Absolutely. But I think this is the part of the business that where you have to get like, okay, what's best for each other. And I'm
Right.
with you on that. It's definitely to me. I don't think it's the money. I think it's the length. How long this extension is going to be for? Is it 3, 4 years or is it 2, 3 years? Like how long are you guys going to give me this contract for? Because that seems to be the ongoing thing. And if you think about it, the Raiders have reason to like not want to do that long. Look what happened with Zeke.
Yeah.
When Zeke got that bag, he got all that money. Look at Zeke last year. Like Zeke wasn't even the main running back on his team last year. It was Tony Pollard. It's like you said.
Right.
Now teams got multiple running backs, so it makes it different. It makes it different to be able to go in there with just one running back. And we have Zeus behind him. We have Jacobs. They're probably going to bring in some other dudes. So
Right.
yeah, it's tough. I love Jacobs. I would love for us to keep Jacobs, but this is that business part of it where it's like, man, I hope they figure something out. I really do.
I absolutely agree, man. But before we get into any more of Josh Jacobs talk, shout out to Terrell Ellerly, Raider C Dub, Dominique Five, Ray Love, Darnell Sanders, Daniel Barry Sports Highlight, Dave Bigelow, Vinny Thomas, We the People, Al Ghost, um, D Menace, Vinny Thomas. Shout out to everybody's in the chat. AK, what's going on, AK? We
What's
all are in
up?
the building. We sup. What's up? What's up? But Josh, even though Saquon Barkley is holding out too, we have even
Yes.
defensive players. Even Dexter Lawrence is holding out for a
Hmm.
contract. So they have a lot of people are holding out, and I just feel like it's not the money. I just feel like it's the length with the money. Now
The
we saw
longevity part of it.
right, and I feel like
Mhm.
people feel like, and we the people said running back should be the highest paid positions, take a huge beating, but more of a hazardous job. The more you get paid, I think I kind of disagree with that. I don't think running back should be the highest paid positions. We all know quarterback is more valued than a running back is. We all know that in the NFL. We just saw Jalen Hurts get his deserving money yesterday. He got
Yeah, yeah, he
deserving money,
did.
$255 million with 179 guaranteed.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see running backs getting that kind of money. I just don't see it.
No, not anymore. They don't. They don't value them like they used to. They don't
I don't
last as long for one. Yeah.
right. I don't see a running back getting $54 million a year. I just don't see it.
Mm-mm.
I can't see a running back getting the most I could probably a running back see getting up to 20 million, but 50 something $million a year for a running back. I think that you're really blowing your salary cap. Put all that in one basket. With
Even
a
right now, 20 seems like a lot for a running
20
back
seems like a
alone.
lot for running backs
Yeah.
too. Yeah,
20 seems
absolutely.
like a lot for running back. And then with them, the whole thing is the age, right? Everyone always says once that running back hits 30, they're not the same anymore, right? It's all downhill from there. Whereas
Right.
quarterbacks, they start to hit 30, some of them start reaching their prime, start to get better. They're reaching their own, they have their own routine already going, or they may be getting better at that point if they're good quarterbacks after 30. But when you talk about running backs and they're getting at that 30 mark, you're already calling them old at 30 years old, man. Like that's crazy. People
And
don't
I
value
think
them as much.
and I really think because the age they come out in college.
Yeah, they've been taking a beating since then.
Right. And I think the age coming out in college, and then you say if you came out in like 2016, 2015, them years is creeping up on you as a running back.
Right.
Them years are creeping up on you. And I just feel like when it comes to it's devalued because now you're looking at offenses where you gotta have a running back by committee.
Yeah,
You
and
don't
that's
have
the
that
majority.
one particular. You used to have a 1-2 punch. Now you need a
Mhm.
1, 2, and 3 punch now.
Right. Hmm. Yeah. Because even
So
even in Tennessee they do that. Even with Henry, right? They still do a
yeah,
1-2. Yeah. Hmm.
because
Yeah.
now, but the thing is that Henry is looking to be traded. Then
Hmm.
you got Ezekiel Elliott as a free agent. Josh Jacobs gets franchise tag. So does Saquon Barkley.
The
So
other
you got
one is Davin Cook, right?
and Dalvin Cook might be getting cut. So it's like
Davin Cook might be getting cut. Yeah,
so
not
you
traded,
you got
cut.
you got to think about the running back position. Like I don't know what to think of it. And
Hmm.
Josh Jacobs is all in that aspect of running backs. So
Yeah.
it's tough, man. It's really tough for Josh Jacobs, but I just really hope they get a deal done by the time training camp comes around or OTAs come around, where he could be in the building and be get accumulated with Jimmy Garoppolo and all these new pieces that he has. Even though he's a running back, but you still got to have continuity on offense.
Right. Yeah, because right now it's the voluntary ones, right? So it's conditioning, strength, stuff like that. Tape.
Yeah,
That's what they're doing right now, right? Yeah.
yeah, voluntary workouts right
The
now.
voluntary workouts. Mm.
But shout out to Tubby Child. Shout out to you. Really do appreciate you coming in here. But um, other news that I wanted to talk about, and a lot of people didn't really talk about this here. And you, when I text you the topics, bro, you said Trey Lance.
Yeah.
I saw. Listen, I read an article on JustBlogBaby.com, man, and they saying that should the Las Vegas Raiders trade for Trey Lance? I'm gonna read a little bit of it. I ain't gonna read much of it, but I'm gonna let it be known, man. I don't know why topic has even come up, but it's saying that this offseason, the Las Vegas Raiders franchise made a decision to part ways with quarterback Derek Carr. We know this already. They move away from Raiders football as Carr has been the starter for the team since the rookie season 2014 into the 2022 campaign. So they said bringing in Jimmy Garoppolo in free agency as well as a new former England New a signal caller Brian Hoyer, to provide depth and declare that Josh McDaniels is adding quarterbacks that he's comfortable with. Despite the additions, there are reasons to believe that the Raiders could be in on a quarterback in the draft, or whether not that pick comes day one. So it's saying that back in 2021, the San Francisco 49ers made Trey Lance the number 3 overall pick, selecting a strong arm quarterback from North Dakota State. However, since then, Lance has battled with injuries, inconsistent play, and apparently has fallen out the favor with the organization.
Ooh.
So I'm I'm still not understanding. I'm trying to go to the next page and see what they say here because I don't see the Raiders trying to go and get a Trey Lance, knowing that he's
Oh
very
no.
inconsistent. Why, why would we go trade for a Trey Lance that has barely played?
Hmm. He's gotten hurt. Like everybody's main
That
thing is
doesn't
about
doesn't
Jimmy's
make sense.
durability. It doesn't make sense to go get Trey Lance from him. That's why when you sent the Trey Lance thing, I was like, what? Lance? I know he was supposed to be like this big time
Yeah,
quarterback coming out. The Niners gave up all these picks in there for him, but he hasn't proved that he can get it done like that.
yeah.
Like,
He hasn't proved nothing to me. Yes, he's athletic. He reminds you a little bit
mhm.
of Colin Kaepernick when it comes to running the football. He got the size of it, but I just don't see the reason why. I don't.
Yeah,
I'm trying to read. I'm trying to read up on it and see what else they have on here. And
or
this is what
especially
they
to
say why
us.
it makes sense.
Okay, let me see
Right.
why.
It's now according to Brad. Okay, so according to what's his name, Brad Weiss of Just Blog Baby, he said why it makes sense. He said the only second round pick the Raiders have in 2023 is the number 38 overall pick selection, in which we recently had the team picking Tennessee quarterback Hendon Hooker in our latest seventh round Raiders mock draft. Now Lance was much a bigger prospect coming out of college than Hooker is, and based on his skill set, should be the franchise quarterback at the NFL level. The issue in San Francisco is that he was injured as well as the current Raiders quarterback Jimmy Garoppolo. Mr. Irrelevant came in and looked every bit apart. Brock Purdy
Hmm.
has cemented himself as the QB1 in San Francisco. At least start camp this summer and leaving Lance possibly a former number 3 overall pick holding a clipboard. In Las Vegas, Lance should reunite with Garoppolo, and a player known for younger players along is sit behind him to continue to learn a NFL game. Lance is only 22 years old and is fully healthy next season. There's no reason to believe that he could grow at the position, possibly take Jimmy G role in a year or two. Garoppolo is an excellent mentor and someone Lance is familiar with. So Las Vegas Raiders will be a perfect landing spot for him in a trade. For the Raiders, it will get them a potential future franchise guy at the position once he's ready.
Hmm.
It makes zero. It don't make no sense.
It makes no sense. One, it's not like, yeah, he played with Jimmy, but he's coming into a system that he's not even familiar with. Why one would McDaniels and Ziegler bring in somebody? No, I don't get it. It makes zero sense. And for what? What are they saying you would have to give up for Lance? The Niners aren't just going to give him to you. They gave
They
up a
want.
lot to get that dude.
He did mention he did mention the 20 the 38 pick in the second round for Trey
Oh yeah.
Lance.
Oh yeah. No. Mm-mm.
I can't say that, man.
That's a stretch. Uh-uh.
That is more than a stretch.
That is like something someone would say who's a fan of a player and they just want him on his team, and that's how you're gonna make it happen.
That and that, I like Just Blog Baby. That don't get me wrong. I like Just Blog Baby, and they got some reliable articles. But this one here, I can't rock with.
That was from Just Blog Baby?
That was from Just Blog Baby. Brad Weiss of Just Blog Baby said that about
Oh
going to trade for Trey
damn.
Lance. I think
That's
it's
crazy.
stupid.
That is
Like
dumb.
what
Yeah.
we about to be the San Fran, what about to be the Las Vegas 49ers
The
now?
Las Vegas 49ers?
Like
Yeah.
come on, like no, like they already saying that we the Las Vegas Patriots, the New England Raiders, they're already saying that shit. We don't need
Oh
any
my
more
god.
49ers coming over here. We just don't need
No,
it.
we don't. Hell no. Even if that a younger prospect like Lance, you could draft one in the later rounds in this year's draft
And
without.
he
Yeah.
said that Trey Lance is better was coming out of the draft. Trey Lance was better than hitting Hooker. Probably that year, yes,
That
but
year. Yeah.
last year we didn't see Trey Lance on the field.
No, coming out of the draft, yeah, Trey Lance was his big hype that was going to come out and change the 49ers, but he hasn't done it. He keeps getting hurt.
Exactly. He was
Mm-mm.
a starter last year, but now Brock Purdy's look like it's going to take that from him, basically.
Yeah, they said they're going to battle it out, right? That's what they're saying, that they're going to battle it out between Purdy and Lance.
Yeah, they're going to battle it out. So
I
that
see
was,
Purdy. I see Purdy keeping that drop, bro. The run that they went on. Yeah.
yeah, I think Purdy might be the guy, but this is Shanahan's offense. No matter what
Hmm.
quarterback you put back there, they're going to succeed.
And that's who Shanahan wanted, though, was he wanted Lance. Uh,
Right? He wanted Trey Lance, so to trade him, I if the Raiders make this move, I'm going to be so pissed at them. I
no,
think
they
I think
wouldn't. I don't think they
I
would.
think he's got some common sense. I
Hmm.
just think he does because he didn't have no common sense during the regular season. So hopefully, I
Uh-huh.
hope something, knock on wood, if you hear me, John Green. That's all I'm gonna say.
Definitely, bro. No way. Oh yeah, that's a stretch. There's no way I can see that one.
Yeah, but you right, Anthony Price. Purdy might not be ready. He might not be ready.
What, from injury?
This is Trey Lance is too.
Right. Well, they're both supposedly gonna come back to training camp ready to go next year, so we'll see what happens. But yeah. Hmm.
Oh, I hate when this thing happens with my glucose.
Oh, you have that one?
Yeah, it acts stupid
Mhm.
sometimes. Well, I just gonna keep it like that. When it ready to work, it ready to work. Basically, um, sure. One of my friends said that the 49ers fan said Purdy might about be ready for the 2023 season. I feel the same way about Trey Lance. Trey Lance
Mhm.
got what? How many surgeries on that ankle on that leg?
Yep.
You know, I feel like Trey Lance is not ready either.
Mhm.
Niners have Sam Darnold. He's the starter. You know what? Listen, let me
Sam
tell you
Darnold.
this right now, Free Love. I'm gonna tell you this right now. If Kyle Shanahan can revive Sam Darnold's career as a 49er, you know what type of coach you got in Kyle Shanahan. I'm
Oh my
sorry to say.
God! If he can do that with Sam Darnold, wow. Yeah.
You know what kind of coach you got. Simple as
Yeah.
that. You
I
know what
did
kind of
read
coach.
that thing though, like what David Bigelow's talking about. Shanahan gets his QBs killed. I saw a thing about where they're talking about that it's Shanahan's offense that gets these quarterbacks injured.
Okay, so this thing is acting retarded now. I just closed it out. Whatever. If Dilfer can win the Super Bowl, so can Sam Darnold.
You're right, but Dilfer did it with an amazing
But
defense
let's
and a
be
great
honest,
running
though,
game.
Trent Dilfer won it with a defense that was number one in the league all year long.
And the
Like,
only reason they got to the Super Bowl was because
it's that
Saragusa landed on
defense.
Gannon.
Right.
If
Right.
Gannon don't go out that game, we go in there and we win that Super Bowl against damn Kerry Collin and the Giants.
So before I get into the Budda Baker talks, I want to get into a lot of draft news. There's been mad draft news coming out of like Raiders Wire and Just Blog Baby. Because I know Budda Baker, I know everybody's talking about should the Raiders go out and get
Woo!
Budda. But we're gonna talk
Draft.
about that. We're gonna talk about contracts and everything of that nature. What is actually Budda Baker worth at this moment? So my next question to Leo is: could the Raiders trade up to the number 3 overall pick for a franchise quarterback? Now, this is according to Marcus Mosher of the Raiders Wire. He said the
Hmm.
expectation for the few weeks is that the Arizona Cardinals are looking to trade up to the number 3 spot. With the Cardinals already having Kyler Murray under contract, they have no need for a quarterback and need to draft picks to rebuild their defense. Because Budda Baker, he wants out of Arizona. So,
Yeah.
with the Raiders already expressing interest in trading up this year's draft, could the Cardinals at number 3 be an ideal landing spot to grab a franchise quarterback? And if so, who Dave Ziegler and Josh Jacobs target at number 3? So they saying in a recent mock draft by Pro Football Focus and the analytics team said that they had the Raiders trade up from number 7 to 3 to select quarterback Anthony Richardson. And here's what they have to say about the trade that fits Richardson in Las Vegas. And
Hmm.
it says that the Raiders are currently in a division with Patrick Mahomes and Justin Herbert, which means they need a quarterback of that caliber to compete in long term. Now, according to Pro Football Focus, he outlined that Richardson has the goods to develop once he hits the NFL, becoming an elite quarterback based on his physical tools. Going to a team where he could sit behind Jimmy Garoppolo and be mentored similar to Trey Lance would be a good landing spot. Now, Richardson is the most athletic quarterback. They say according to what this article says, that
Right.
Richardson is the most athletic quarterback in NFL history, running a 4.4 in a 40-yard dash at 244 pounds.
Yeah, it was
But
fast.
he's extremely raw. It could benefit from a year or two of sitting on the bench behind a veteran quarterback. That's why the Las Vegas Raiders would be a perfect fit after the team signed Jimmy Garoppolo this offseason. Now, if the Raiders want to take a quarterback this offseason in this draft or to do so, and Richardson is the type of talent we're gambling for at number 3 in this year's draft.
Oof.
What are you what are your thoughts on this, y'all? Well, make sure y'all
Man,
put your comments in because we're gonna have y'all reply too. But Leo, what is your thoughts, man? What are your
man,
thoughts?
we talked about this last week about trading up and getting a quarterback, right? If it's worth it, if their guy is there. Now there's even more rumors that Houston might not even get a quarterback.
Right.
They're looking at Will Anderson at number 2 or maybe trading whatever, right? So then now you're talking about maybe Stroud being there or Richardson being there. Because apparently number 1's going to be young. That's going to be crazy, bro. If Stroud and Richardson are there at 3 and the Raiders are there and able to trade with Arizona, which if you look at all the scenarios, it's including Renfro, right? It's
Mhm.
including sending Renfro to Arizona, swapping picks, and us getting D Hop and like adding additional picks, whatever. But man, that would be crazy. My whole issue with that is this. I like Stroud. You know, I've always liked CJ Stroud. My
Right.
thing was if he was available at where we're at, we'll take him. To me, this draft, all these quarterbacks, they're good, but they're not like Manning type, good, great, amazing quarterbacks that you just have to go out and get these dudes. If this was next year and we're talking about doing this trade to get Caleb Williams, I would be like, fucking do it, bro. Do it. Do it. Go get that dude. But with these dudes, I think it's just you're kind of like, this is what we're at. These are the best dudes in this draft. So now these are the ones we get to pick from. With Richardson, I was never a fan in the beginning. I thought it was all hype. We talked about watching SEC games, and dude
Mhm.
just didn't have it, right? But then, like, the more that comes out, he doesn't have the playing experience, but he has certain skills. He meets with people. He has his work ethic. Everybody's talking about now his work ethic that he had. That's the difference between him and Jamarcus, is that he actually has the work ethic that Jamarcus didn't. But man, I don't know. I'm not
It's
a
it,
fan
it
of taking a quarterback, but if they did it, I wouldn't be surprised.
now realize they said why they trading Renfro because if you look at the wide receiver depth chart right now,
hmm
and if you look at it, the thing about it is that Renfro was already in trade talk from the rip. They're trying to
Yeah,
get
right
rid of
before he got
they're
there.
trying to get rid of every John Gruden guy that they have. And Renfro is a John Gruden guy. Jacobs is a John Gruden guy. I think they're the only two left from the roster outside of Diablo and Trayvon Merrick.
Yeah,
I
nothing
don't
else
know who
on.
else. I mean, Max Crosby, yeah, but they're not gonna get rid of Max Crosby. We all know that.
No, 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 no.
They're not gonna get rid of Max Crosby. It's been rumors about trading Renfro all off season.
Yeah,
So
especially with the whole Arizona swapping picks because they said it makes sense to switch Renfro and Hopkins for them.
right.
That would
Because
be part of the bundle.
right now is what Adams, and then it's who will be our number two,
Myers.
Jacoby Myers.
hmm
So now what they will do is this, because there's a lot of scenarios that's going to go on with this number 3 pick now, because now Budda Baker wants to be traded. D Hopkins is supposed to be traded. So now there's
Yeah,
two players. So now if the Raiders do trade, yeah, Kuntz is a Gruden guy too. Jerome, you're absolutely right, but we don't even see Kuntz on the field like that. We just don't.
nah.
We don't. But it's gonna be a scenario where it might be a 2-for-1 or a
hmm
3-for-1.
That's what I'm hearing. That it's one of
It,
those
it, it
situations.
could be or it could be a 2 for 2 in some ways, or 3 for 2, where you
Hmm.
could send Budda Baker and DeAndre Hopkins in the number 3 overall pick to the Las Vegas Raiders for the number 7
Hmm.
overall pick in Hunter Renfro. You could probably see that, but Budda Baker makes everything a little bit more interesting now for that number 3 slot. He makes it better. That's why I said I didn't want to talk about it yet, because I
Right,
wanted to
right.
talk about
You
this
get there.
first. Because if we want to move up for a quarterback, they what are the Raiders willing to give up, and what are the Cardinals able to get up outside of that number 3 pick?
But do you think it's worth it at this point where we're at, having Jimmy, having Hoyer as his backup, whatever, to move up, not miss out on a top defender that we've been talking about these last couple of weeks,
Right.
just to get a quarterback that we're hoping that can develop behind Jimmy G?
And that's what makes it hard to answer, because even though that we trade up to get Richardson, we still get 2 players out of it.
Right.
So we already know what DeAndre Hopkins can do. We
You
already
get
know
the
what Budda Baker can do. So
hmm
even though we go up and we trade DeAndre Hopkins and Budda Baker to the Raiders, just hypothetically, we
yeah.
give them the number 7 pick, we give them Hunter Renfrow and probably somebody else, just to match the trade, just hypothetically.
Hmm.
We are if Richardson don't pan out, Hopkins will, Budda Baker will.
Hopkins will. They'll definitely. And Buda Baker. You're right.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what I'm saying. They will pan out. So
Mhm.
that's why I added Budda Baker to this trade, because I feel like a lot of trades is going to happen in this first round of the draft. I really
Mhm.
see it happening.
Yeah.
Like the Texans said they're listening to trade talks. They're
They
listening.
are. Yeah. Hmm.
So Texas might be trading out of the number 2 pick.
And it makes sense because the Texans, their coach Levy, he's the what? I mean, D'Amico, he's defensive minded, so he might not want to take one of those QBs at number 2. Mm-mm.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And to build our defense, now say we could move up and still get somebody at number 3
You
and get a
could.
good.
I mean, that's
You
us
could do that.
assuming. Yeah, that's us assuming it's a quarterback. If they move up to number 3 and Carolina and Houston go quarterback, and we get Will Anderson at number 3,
I'll be fine with that.
you see? Yeah, that's
I'll be
assuming we
fine
use it
with
as a
that.
quarterback, right?
If
That's
we move up for a defensive player, then just
mhm.
going to get a quarterback, I take that. I will take that any day, because Will Anderson
Right.
is a one of a kind player,
Oh yeah. Hmm.
and it definitely makes up for all the missed defensive players that's playing well in the NFL right now that we passed up on.
That we passed up. Oh yeah, he does.
And shout out to my boy Payson for the $2 super chat. He said, "Does Budda Baker want top dollar though? Depending on what's considered top dollar for a safety position.
Isn't he already one of the top paid safeties? He just wants more.
I think he's underpaid in Carolina. I think he's underpaid in Carolina because I feel like he said he feel like he's getting devalued not Carolina, in
You mean
Arizona.
Arizona? In
Yeah,
Arizona. Yeah, he signed a 4-year, 59 million dollar contract with them.
but
Yeah.
what's the guarantee of that?
The guarantee included a $10 million signing bonus, and 33 of it was guaranteed. Ooh, that's only half of it. Oh yeah. Okay.
I mean, depending on the numbers that he put up, he probably worth
Mm-hmm.
more than that. But if we could get him to keep that contract the way it is, and we
Yeah.
still trade for him, it will help us out salary cap wise. But if he wants more than what he's getting now and he wants to get traded, I wouldn't do it. If I'm the Raiders, I wouldn't do it.
Yeah, he's set to make 13 million in 2023. Yeah.
Right. So if we could
Hmm.
trade him and keep him at 13 million, I'll take
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
But if he wants more than 13 million, if he wants top dollar, almost that 18, 20 million guaranteed,
I
he
think
can
that's
stay
what he
with us.
wants. Yeah. I think that's what he wants is that 18, 20 million. Yeah. Hmm.
So we the people says that I don't see the Cardinals trading their first round pick. Arizona needs a quarterback, and the Cardinals have a new coach and said they don't need a quarterback. They have Kyler Murray. They're not going to get rid
Yeah,
of
they've
Kyler.
already said that they're sticking with Murray. Yeah.
Yeah, they're sticking with Murray. They're not going to trade Kyler
If
Murray at all.
anything, they would have traded Murray.
They said Murray not ready for the season. New coach and staff. I disagree with that.
Who tore what his
Arizona has way more
ACL, right?
issues in the quarterback position.
Yeah.
So I mean, there's a lot of scenarios going up with Budda Baker now, and wanting to be traded. And to me, in my personal opinion, to you, do you think if we keep him at that $13 million, will that be more realistic for you to go out and get him and trade him and keep him under that contract?
Oh, if you keep him for that amount, yeah, definitely. Hell yeah. hmm He'll be a hit. I think at that point it makes more sense. You can keep him for that amount. But I think that's the whole thing with him. I think that's why he wants to get traded, is to get more money. Yeah. hmm
Hmm. That could be that's interesting, man. That's interesting because Budda Baker is a playmaker. I mean, yes, we
Yes.
did go out and get Epps from the
Ep.
Philadelphia Eagles as
hmm
a safety. Um we still have Merrick, and I think we picked up another safety if I'm not mistaken in free agency. If I'm not mistaken, I think we picked up another safety. I'm not too sure, but I mean, where would Budda Baker fit? Even though that Epps is really good at the safety position, then we got Merrick that kind of declined last year. So my
He
question to you,
did.
Leo, is like,
hmm
where would Budda Baker actually fit as a safety on this defense for Patrick Graham?
Yeah, that would be the other part. Like, where does he fit in? Where does he come in? Remember, these dudes are already bringing in their type of players, the guys as they want. And as much as it's like Buda Baker sounds nice, he's a star, he's a playmaker. It all comes down to, is this the kind of player that Ziegler and them want on the Raiders? You know, is this the kind of guy that they want? Is this going to fit what they're looking at as a player? As a playmaker's point, as a player, I would love to see him in the Raiders. You know, and we could Merrick can go back, put him in there as a starter. Like that would be our superstar on the secondary and that safety to fill that position because we know he can do it. We're not
Right.
hoping that he goes back, like with Merrick, we're hoping that he gets back to being good again and can continue to develop. But the other part would be like with Baker, you know what you're getting. You know what you're getting with Buda Baker. You know what he's going to go out there and do, you know? But
Yeah,
damn,
that's true too. So
you can't afford Baker. I mean, you know
it's
what?
but
That's crazy. The way they do the contracts, man, they do so much movement, negotiation. These dudes make it work one way or another.
so let's get into a little bit more draft talk here. We're going to because most of this is going to be draft talk because
It's
next
coming
week,
up,
ladies and gentlemen,
man. I'm
is the NFL.
excited.
We gonna be live for the NFL draft, man. I'm gonna let y'all know now. I'm gonna give y'all a warning now. I'm here for the draft, but after the Raiders done drafting, I'm done with the live stream. Simple
Yeah.
as that. But if the Raiders have 3 days of drafting, I'm I'm still gonna do it until the Raiders done their draft. Once the Raiders are done their draft, we're into the live stream. We don't need to see no more. We just here to see the
Okay. I
Raiders
see what you're
draft
saying.
picks, and that's it.
Oh, okay. So that first round, we're just gonna go up to us, and then that's it.
So give up the league's rusher, the top slot wide receiver, and the diva wide receiver, and more money. Come on, that's crazy talk. Let's be honest right now. Like,
That's
let's keep it.
insane. Give up all that. I
Let
mean,
me let,
you haven't even signed them yet.
no, because Dave Bigelow said this: Jacobs and Renfro plus the 7 for Arizona's D Hop in the third. Now,
Oh, yeah, I didn't see that.
now Jacobs, Jacobs wouldn't be a part of that trade talk.
Nah,
But
no,
Hunter
nope.
Renfro has been a part of the trade talks, and I would and understand. I love Renfro. I love Renfro. I really do. But will I trade Renfro for DeAndre Hopkins right now? Absolutely, I will.
Mhm. Yeah,
I will
and
put
you can't.
Jacoby Myers in the slot and make DeAndre Hopkins
One,
my
two,
number 2 next to
number
Adams.
two.
I will do
Yeah,
it in a heartbeat.
yep, yep. The other part is you can't trade Jacobs.
Right. I
He
wouldn't
hasn't
trade
even
Jacob.
signed. He hasn't signed the franchise tag. Technically he's a free agent. He's not under contract. So you can't trade him anyway. The only thing you would do is if people wanted him, they would have to work out a deal with Jacobs
Exactly.
that he's gonna agree to, and then they can trade you back for him. But yeah, you can't throw Jacobs in there anyway. That's the whole point of the franchise tag. Yeah.
Right. You can't really throw Jacobs in. But the thing about it is he didn't sign it either.
No, he didn't sign it. He did not sign it.
Yeah, and really, I completely agree with you there. Keep Winfrey and Jacobs and let's work on the real problem is the
Oh
defense.
yeah, for sure. Oh yeah, I'm with
We
that.
agree with that. But we
You
just
just
saying
gotta
for in this topic of the number 3 overall pick,
you gotta
Renfro
talk
has
about it.
been in those talks
Uh-huh.
because of DeAndre Hopkins and what caliber that you can get with DeAndre Hopkins as an offensive weapon. And that's why I added Budda Baker in there so it helps out the offense and the defense if we go get them in the trade. Go get both of them. Honestly, it kills two birds with one stone. Even though Renfro is really a reliable receiver, but DeAndre Hopkins, no matter what quarterback he had, he put up the numbers. Only reason why his numbers low last year because he had that 8-game suspension of the PED. That's the only reason. But
and then when Murray went down, it was like, ooh. Yeah.
Right. DeAndre Hopkins still was trying to do his best that he could. But I would take a DeAndre Hopkins over Renfro any day. I'm sorry. I love Renfro to death. I think he's a very reliable receiver. But if I need a real reliable number 2, or either one could be number 1 or 2, I'm taking DeAndre Hopkins over Renfro.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I just am. And then if we get Budda Baker in there and bring in a defense, I take it. And Josh McDaniel does not value defense. It's obvious. Don't be shocked if he takes the best offensive tackle at number 7.
Oh my
If he
God,
does,
I will walk out of that stream spotlight. Ooh, if we take an offensive tackle at number
we did
7.
that last year. We did that last year with our first draft pick in the 3rd round with Dylan Parham. We better not.
No, but on the number 7, you imagine at the number 7 taking that tackle from Ohio State or the other one from where? From Northwestern.
And it better not be worse than the Alex Leatherwood pick. It better not be. I will snap. I will snap again.
You were telling me about that. You had that video where you.
Oh yeah, I forgot to send it to you, and I got to send it to you, bro. Yeah. I got to send it to you. Payson Cunningham says that I think the main reason we franchise Josh Jacobs is to give time to negotiate with him after the draft. Agreed.
I thought the same thing. That's why I'm not tripping. I'm not worried. People throwing out, oh my God, Jacobs didn't show up today. He can't, even if he wanted to, because he's not under contract. He can't show up today. Yeah. It was just to buy them time. July 15th. That's the date we all need to remember when it comes to Jacob. That's when he has to sign that franchise tag or work out a deal.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. So speaking of the draft, and we could go back into it. Now let's go into the 2nd round. We all talk about the number 7 overall pick. That's all we talk about. But what is the best fit for the Raiders at number 38? Another topic that I read up on RaidersWire.com, and it says that the Raiders hold a very valuable pick in round 2 at the 38 overall pick. That spot is where the Raiders should be able to grab an impact player at a key spot. But what player is the best fit possible for the Raiders in the 2nd round? So Michael Renner of the Pro Football Focus, he named every team best pick in day 2. And for the Raiders, he picked Florida's offensive guard Osiris Torrance. And here's why Renner believes that he will be a home run selection for the Las Vegas Raiders in round 2. The missing link to the Raiders offensive line comes at right guard. That position where Torrance has earned himself a cool 88% overall grade and allowed only 8 hurries this past season. The Raiders need an offensive guard to help Torrance, and arguably the best guard in this class. He was dominant in the SEC and had multiple years of experience. He will be a plug-and-play starter for the Raiders that will instantly give him more size and power at the offensive line. If the Raiders want a safe and smart pick in round 2, Torrance would make a ton of sense. However, it feels like unlikely that the top guard in this draft will even make it to them at number 38. Now, I heard about this guy.
Okay.
I heard about Osiris Torrance now. The guy can block. The guy is fundamentally sound. The guy is a starter that can actually be a first year starter in this league, no matter what team it is.
And for a long
And
time.
he protected Anthony Richardson. I think
Mm.
he protected Anthony Richardson and not gave up a sack, but only 8 hurries. That's not bad.
It's
But I
not.
don't see him being there at 38. That's the only problem I have with that. That's the only problem I have with that is him not being there. But let's talk about it. At 38, if he's not there, and everybody in the chat, y'all can do this too. Who will be your 38th selection in the second round? I know you want Christian Gonzalez at 7. I know
Oh
that.
yeah, yeah. Yeah.
So if you pick Christian Gonzalez at 7, who would you pick at 38?
At 38, I would pick if Hendon Hooker isn't there. I would take that linebacker out of Iowa, Jack Campbell.
Mm.
I would take that linebacker out of Iowa, Jack Campbell. Mm-hmm.
Or
Or
Vegas says Christian Gonzalez and then Jamar, I think it's Jamari Gibbs.
then you running back?
Well, we don't need no running backs out the draft. We don't need a running back. So if it's a running back, absolutely not.
Yeah, he's Alabama running back.
What's good? What's good, Ritter Kojo? What's up, brother? What's going on with you?
He said, "Let's get Hopkins." Uh-huh.
She along with his bars. I don't think we re-signed Alex Bars, did we?
Did we?
I don't
I
think we
can't remember.
re-signed
I
him.
don't think we did. Uh-uh.
Paris Johnson, OT out of Ohio State, would be at number 38.
He wouldn't drop down that far.
March, I guess that's how you pronounce it, at 38. Anthony
So
Price
another
says
transfer.
draft down. But how far you wanted to draft down for, Anthony? That's the question. How
Yeah,
far you
no,
wanted to draft
38.
down?
That's what the 6th pick in the second draft. Drew Sanders is another good one.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I like Drew Sanders.
I like Drew
I
Sanders.
definitely like Drew
Yeah.
Sanders.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so Iowa linebacker, what you just said, what's his name? Jack Campbell, right?
Jack Campbell. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I got to look up him because I really didn't watch Iowa this year.
Yeah.
Because I'm a big college football fan and I didn't watch Iowa this year.
Oh,
Nah.
okay.
Oh my god. Okay, let me
Another
just.
Jamari Gibbs. Another one. Man, y'all
No,
really
I don't
want
want
the
to run
running
it back.
back, huh?
I don't
They're
want to run
already,
it back.
they're
We
already
just
moving on
drafted
from
2 of them
Jacobs.
last year. No,
Yeah, we
that's
got 2 of
silly.
them. We got Zeus and then Britton Brown,
Yeah,
right?
Britton Brown. Like we don't need any more running backs.
We
We
still got
re-signed
Kung Fu
Amir Abdullah.
Abdullah.
So that doesn't make sense.
Jamari runs a 4.3.
Jack Campbell.
Yep, Jack Campbell.
You know it's a good tackle or guard. You know it's a good tackle or guard from Maryland. What's their name, Anthony? I didn't watch Maryland this year either. And I know Maryland was pretty good this year because they had Tua's little brother playing. Tua's little
They
brother.
did. I was like, why did I remember seeing Maryland? And that's because they had Tua's little brother. That's right. Yeah.
1-year extension for Alex Bars. Oh my God.
He did get extended.
Yes, we need a running back. Jamar Gibbs is a 14. We need a running back, do we?
If you really need a running back, why not just
Zamir White last year? I'm confused.
Yeah, I don't understand it. I think you want to move on from Jacobs already. Like, now let's get a running back. No.
We got Britton Brown, Amir Abdullah, and Zamir White.
Picking Gibbs just because he's fast reminds me of picking Hayward Bay because he was the fastest receiver. Like,
oh my God, I think that's the last time we picked that 7, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, he was. I saw that today on a video.
He was the last number 7 overall pick that we got, and that was Darius Hayward Bay. He did not pan out for us at all. Oh
there
God,
it is.
did not pan out at all.
There he said Jalen Duncan. That's the guy out of Maryland.
6'6", 320 out of Maryland.
Ooh, that's a big dude.
Yeah, that is a big dude. Mm-hmm. I just haven't watched Maryland play this year.
I watched a couple games just because it was to his brother. I remember that. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. See, for me, I I watch certain teams. Like, yeah, I'm biased. I watched all Tennessee games this year, so I know a lot
You
of
gotta
people.
if you like college football, you gotta watch SEC.
Yeah, you gotta watch SEC. You do.
Yeah,
You do. SEC. Lately the SEC, the ACC, the Big Ten is pretty good with
I
college
watched
football.
Big Ten, Ohio State and
Big Ten is
Michigan.
really
Yeah,
good. The Pac-12 is getting better.
mm,
So
I'm excited for the Pac-12 now that Coach Prime is there.
yeah, and with Colorado,
Yeah.
that's gonna be interesting.
Hmm.
There you go, Jalen Duncan.
Who would you
Jalen,
take in the second round at number 38?
it really depends who I want to pick at number 7.
Okay, so at number 7, I know I've made it very clear, Christian Gonzalez. You've been on the wire.
I've been on the wire, but I got a feeling this guy is going to drop. Jalen Carter
Oh,
at
if
7.
he's there at 7, I would forget Gonzalez. I would if we're on the live and Jalen
If,
Carter's there, I'm
yeah,
gonna tell you I want
if we
Carter.
don't trade up and
Yeah.
we stay there at number 7, because I saw something today on ESPN that made it kind of intriguing. They
Hmm.
said because the Bears have the 9th overall pick,
Yeah.
and they said that if Jalen Carter drops, they say that he could drop to the number 9th overall pick and go to the Bears. But
Ooh,
why the Raiders would pass up on Jalen Carter? So I'm like, you know what?
character flaws.
We need defensive tackles. Yes, we did get Matthew Butler from Tennessee last year. We did get
Hmm.
Neil Farrell last year from LSU.
Right.
Cool. But I said at number 7, you get Jalen Carter.
Mm. Yeah, if he's
You
there, I
gotta
would
you
not
gotta
be
beef
mad at
up
that,
that
bro.
defensive tackle position. You have to.
Hmm.
That's been our kryptonite for years.
Can you imagine getting that, being able to get that push on a regular up the middle like that?
Yes,
How much that's gonna help Max Crosby? How much that's gonna help the secondary? Oh my God.
right, right.
Hmm.
I agree. I agree
Yeah.
100%. R. Vega said, please go check out the RB Gibbs playing for Georgia Tech and then Alabama. If you think Kamara would be, you would love. Yeah, I would probably love the
I
running
get.
back. Don't get me wrong.
He's a good running back, but we don't need a
We don't
running back.
need them. That's the
Yeah.
difference, R. Vega. We don't need them.
Yeah.
So Pacey said, if Hooker is there at 38,
That's
I'll be happy after drafting defense at 7. You know
that's what I
what?
was saying. If Hooker was there, I would want them to take Hooker.
Yeah, I would take Hooker at 38.
Hmm.
I would definitely take Hooker at 38. Because I think
Yeah.
Levis would be off the. I feel for me, I think Levis would be off the board. Thank God.
Yeah.
I think Stroud, Bryce Young, they'll already be off the board. Anthony
Yeah.
Richardson will already be off the board. And the next
Hmm.
best quarterback out of them is Hidden Hooker.
Is
For
Hendon
real, for
Hooker.
real.
Yeah. Hmm.
So I will say 38. I will go get Hidden Hooker and then address the offensive line and majority of uh, offensive line and defense the
Yeah.
rest of the draft.
Primarily
Basically.
defense. Shoot. Yeah.
Let me see. The picks that were picked last year, all those players suck. Are you serious? What?
How do all of them suck?
I'm looking
How
at you,
you
brother.
figure?
I'm looking at you, brother. Like, is he crazy?
First of all, we didn't have picks in first round and two.
Dylan Parham did not suck last year.
Parham did not suck.
Are
Yeah.
you kidding? Parham did not suck last year. And then you gonna say that Zamir White? How can you say Zamir White sucked where he barely touched the field?
No. And even when he did touch the ball, man, I saw glimpses. I think he almost broke one time. Yeah.
Yeah. So the
Hmm.
picks, all the picks last year did not suck.
No.
It didn't. It didn't suck. I'm sorry. I wasn't a big fan of Dylan Parham in the 3rd round, but we did need a left guard. We needed
Yeah.
one
And
because
then
Brandon Parker sucks.
the tackle that we got in the draft?
Thayer Mumford,
Mumford.
another guy that was
And
good
Mumford.
last year.
Mumford was good last year. Yeah. Hmm. Right.
Yeah, DP in the
Looking at
third
it now, yeah.
he was a steal, which I wasn't really big with him because I didn't watch Memphis play that. I don't watch. See, Memphis is a D1 school, but they're not in a conference that gaps out to me. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So
Especially in college football. That's not a school you
right,
see like, oh, he came from Memphis. Yeah. That's more of a
right. He
college
came from Memphis.
basketball type
Memphis is more
school.
like a basketball school than a
Yeah.
football school. So
Hmm.
it's like I didn't know much about Dylan Parham, to be honest, but
Hmm.
he got bullied a few times this year. Of course, he's a rookie. That's going to happen. But
I think he's gonna be better this year.
right. And Mumford was pretty impressive this year too. They rookie lineman.
Yeah, I like Mumford too. As that
I
swing
think
tackle
Mumford's
too.
going to develop him and Parham is going to develop into something that's a 1-2 tandem. I can see it. I could definitely
I do.
see it.
I do too. I like those.
All right. So what round do y'all think the best draft a tight end? After the fourth is some slim pickings.
It is. Hmm.
Now, I don't see a tight end getting picked up into the third round.
Until
I
when?
don't see the tight. I don't see a tight end. I don't see a tight end getting picked up into the third round.
Bro, no, yeah, they are. You don't think
I don't.
so?
I just feel like right now the way the defensive draft class is, and the
It's a
way the
very,
off-
yeah.
the way the defensive draft class is, I don't see a tight end getting picked up into the third round. I just
Mm.
don't. So I like the beginning of the third round. I'm not saying like late third round, like between the beginning and mid third. A lot of tight ends going to come off the board. I think you're risking it getting a tight end in the first and second round. I think you're risking it.
Dang.
But you got to think about it. A lot of these tight ends that's in the league now was not first and second round draft picks. They was the end of the third, going into the fourth. You got to think about it.
We
Where do
signed
you
a
draft
former
tight
first
ends
round
at?
tight end, didn't we? Didn't we just sign a former first round tight end? OJ Howard wasn't he a first round pick?
Yeah, but
Hmm.
he wasn't drafted by us as a first round pick.
I honestly think there'll be at least one for sure will be drafted in the first round. Michael Mayer, yeah, out of Notre Dame. And then you got the other dude, what's his name?
Or he
Washington?
could. The only way that happens if he convert to receiver. That's the only way that happens.
Yeah, Michael Mayer, Darnell Washington, and Kincaid. Those are the top three. Yeah. Hmm.
What's the guy's name from Georgia?
That's Washington. That's Darnell Washington. Yeah.
No,
Hmm.
Darnell Washington sounds like no, not to be racist or anything, but it was a white guy. It was a white guy that was balling that remind me of Gronk in Georgia. What is his name? I
Out of
totally forgot
Georgia?
his name because Darnell Washington was the backup to him.
Mm.
I saw the Raiders getting Emmanuel Forbes in the second round. Mm.
Emmanuel Forbes at the second round would be amazing, but I
If
doubt
he
he
dropped that
drops down
far,
that far. I doubt he drops down that far. Yeah.
but you just never know with the draft either, man. You just never know with the draft because the draft we've seen some of the greatest players get undrafted, then drafted.
Hmm.
Like we seen it. What is that guy's name? I'm about to find out that guy's name right now because it's right on the tip of my tongue, but I can't get it. I can't get it because that guy he was Stetson Bennett main target outside of
Brock
Ronaldo.
Bowers. Brock Bowers.
Yes, that
Brock
guy is
Bowers.
a monster. Now
Yeah,
that's a
Brock
guy that I
Bowers.
can see going in the first round.
Hmm.
Bowers is a monster.
That was Stetson Bennett's dude. That's right. Yeah.
That was
Hmm.
Stetson Bennett's guy at Georgia.
Hmm.
I knew it was Brock something. I was about to say Brock Lesnar, but I was about to say Brock Lesnar, but like I just didn't know, man. Like I didn't know his name. Two might get drafted in the first round. One of them
Hmm.
hopefully is Brock Bowers.
Brock
I really hope
Bowers.
that's Brock Bowers. A tight end will
That
be
ain't
selected in the second, not by us, but I see several selected in the
Yeah.
second. If I do
Hmm.
see several, it's gonna be mid second to the end of the second. The Brock.
Dang. So
Wow.
you don't think not one's going to be taken in the first round?
I don't think a tight end is gonna be taken in the first round.
Dang. I mean, that'll
It's just
better for us if we're
prediction.
not. Yeah.
I don't have nothing against tight ends, but
Yeah.
I mean, outside of OJ Howard, who else that you could really name a tight end that went in the first round?
The other dude, they
After,
were
I'm gonna
both
say
out of Notre
after
Dame.
him,
Tyler Eifert.
Tyler Eifert went in the first round.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
No way.
Who was the other one? Yeah, I remember after the whole Jimmy Graham, different type, Tony Gonzalez, those type of tight ends, like a lot of people
He
started
sure
going.
did.
Yep.
That mother. What?
It's because I'm a
What
Notre Dame
pick?
fan. That's how I know.
He was the 21st pick in the first round. You got to be shitting me.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah.
Wow. DeMar Hamlin is cleared today, back on the Bills roster. I
I
seen that
just seeing
earlier
that right now.
today.
Yeah.
I seen that. I seen that. That was really. Oh, T.J. Hawkinson. Yes, I remember T.J.
TJ
Hawkinson.
Hawkinson. TJ
Right.
Hawkinson. There you go. That's the other one. Yeah.
Only 8 tight ends went in the first round in the last 10 years.
That's a lot. 8 in the last 10 years?
Yeah, but you got to. Hopefully, that's in the gaps. That's not
Yeah.
like. We got to see how many it was in those years, because
Mm-hmm.
8 can mean less in 10 years, depending on how heavy the tight end class was, who really need tight ends. So a lot of things come into perspective when it comes to tight ends.
Yeah. Well, this is a more heavier, bigger tight end class for sure. Mm-hmm.
I wonder if guard Avila will drop to 38. Yeah, I gotta do my research. I have not done my research on any goddamn players in a while, man. I have not done
No?
much. I have not done much, man. It's NBA. The NBA is round. The NBA has been killing me, bro. With
Bro,
all
these
these
games have
playoff
been
games.
hella good.
That Warriors and Kings game last night, man. Listen, 38,000 views on the Darian Hopkins show's YouTube channel. That shit was crazy.
That is crazy.
Almost 2,200 people in the chat, man. But how do y'all feel about this? How do y'all feel about the trade that happened today with Allen Robinson going to Pittsburgh?
I saw that. That's crazy. Talk about somebody who came to the Rams and was supposed to produce. I even drafted him in my fantasy draft, and that dude did nothing. Mm-mm.
Noah Fant. Well, Noah Fant was number. I forgot. Noah Fant was a first rounder. Okay, Noah Fant. T.J. Hawkinson was the first round pick.
Kyle Pitts.
Salute Spotlight. What's going on, Ja Raider? What's going on, brother?
Mm-hmm.
What's going on, man? We ain't gonna be on here too much longer because we just wanted, to give y'all, some updated news when it comes to the Nothing But Raiders podcast. I know Leo got to work. He's working while he's working with me. So I appreciate it, man.
Gotta
I
make it
appreciate it.
work, bro. Mm-hmm.
Wait, no offense on the trade block now. What?
Is he really?
Where you send that link in the chat?
What's up, John
Send
Raider?
that link in the chat. I would love to read the article on that.
Hey, for
Because
real.
for real, I mean, I like Austin Hooper and all, but Noah Fant is a really good tight end.
Yeah, we got Hooper and
OJ Howard. I think we brought them in to be complementary to the offense, but one of them is going to be a blocking tight end. One of them will be a pocket tight end.
Oh, damn, you going to the fight, John?
See,
Watch out.
I don't watch boxing. I don't watch UFC. I just can't get
You
into
don't?
it.
I was wondering. I was gonna ask you why weren't you live during the Adesanya fight? Yeah.
Because I don't know these people.
Oh man.
I don't. And even though we're not talking football right now, but I'm sorry to say, I think boxing is the number one rigged sport in all
Rigged?
sports.
Oh,
Rigged.
there's definitely been times where you're like, huh? How did he win? Who won? Yeah.
Yeah, is I think boxing UFC is a little bit rigged as well. I wouldn't put it as the most rigged sport, but boxing is the most rigged sport.
Rigged too, in the fact that you don't see the top fighters fighting each other all the time because they get to pick who fights Obviously, in
Right.
the UFC, Dana White has his boys. That's the whole thing behind it too, like who he picks. But every now and then, you get these two top fighters that are fight that's coming up this weekend, so it'll be good. Yeah, man. Yeah, I was wondering why he didn't do a live stream on Adesanya. I was like, I wonder why he didn't do that. Maybe he don't
Yeah,
do
'cause
fight.
I don't cover. People say that, oh, you don't cover boxing or UFC, but you cover wrestling. I don't know. I grew
Hey,
up on wrestling. I really
that's
never cared for boxing or
true.
UFC.
I got back into wrestling. Like, yeah, I'm. Yeah. Mm-mm.
I never cared for boxing. Like if it wasn't like the Mike Tyson's or Evander Holyfields of the world, I really didn't care for Floyd Mayweather. I really didn't care for him because I felt like Floyd Mayweather, yeah, he might be one of the greatest athletes or greatest businessmen you ever seen, but I just felt
Mhm.
like he was just an overrated boxer. That's just my personal opinion. I just felt like I felt like he lost to Pacquiao, but that's another story for another time. But I mean, and once I seen that whole debacle go down and the hype it was for it and the way it went,
Mhm.
I was done with boxing. I was done.
Yeah,
Hey gents, what is your dream pick at 7? Me personally, I would love to get Carter. Thank you,
bro. Preach,
Darnell
bro.
Sanders.
Yeah.
That was my pick, brother.
If he's there. What if
If
he's
he's
there at
there
five?
and getting
What if
get,
he's there at
I'm
five,
not
knowing
hesitating.
knowing
If
Seattle picks at 6, and if he's there at 5, would you want to trade up to 5 to get him? Because I think Seattle's going to get him.
I don't think Seattle needs him.
No, but you know how Pete Carroll was with his defenses, man. The more players he can add on there, players like Carter. Yeah. Hmm.
Yeah, I don't think we need him more than the Seattle Seahawks will. So if we
Yeah.
could trade one slot to get Jalen Carter, then I'll do it.
Yeah. Mm.
I'll just swap picks and then Seattle will have the number 7 overall pick. I'll just swap picks.
Yeah.
But I would definitely move up to get Jalen Carter at 7. I definitely want Jalen Carter. I know he has character issues, and I know that the whole thing that went down when he was at the combine. Cool, I understand that. But when you put that man on the field and you put him between them lines, you can't tell that man nothing.
Man, there's this video of Coach Prime when they ask him what type of players he recruits, right? And he
Hmm.
breaks it down, each position, the kind of player that he wants. When
Right.
he talks about D linemen on the inside or the edge rushers, all
Hmm.
those character flaws don't mean nothing to him because he wants those type of players that are dogs like that to be on the interior. So this whole thing about him having these issues, these character flaws, that's the kind of damn player you want on your D line. You want one of those big nasty dudes that's gonna go in there and then just wreck it. I would
I
not
agree.
mind Jalen Carter. Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't
Hmm.
mind Jalen Carter at 7. How you feel about Aiden O'Connell? Who is Aiden O'Connell? Explain to
Yeah.
me. If he's a boxer, then I don't know him. I'm sorry. I don't know him.
No, no, he's a quarterback. Yeah, I wanted to make sure before I said, yeah, he's a
He's a
quarterback.
quarterback from where?
Purdue.
Oh, of course, he's from Purdue. Purdue ain't
He's the
doing nothing.
quarterback out of Purdue. Yeah. Hmm.
Like I said, I have not really done any like
Yeah, I was
I have
gonna
not
say
really
like if
done any
any deeping because like, there's a lot of late round quarterback picks that could benefit us if we don't get one in the top. You know, there's Aiden O'Connell. There's dude from Fresno State. There's you've said it before, taking Stetson Bennett in the fifth, sixth round. You know,
yeah.
and helping him
But I think
develop.
but I think Stetson Bennett might go before. I think Stetson Bennett might be in like he might be a fourth rounder.
Yeah.
I think he might be a fourth rounder.
Then there's what? There's DTR, right? DTR is out there.
Yeah, DTR's out there. Hmm.
Max Dugan from TCU. Yeah. Hmm. They have Phantom available for trade.
Yeah, I really don't care for Purdue quarterbacks outside of Drew Brees. I'm sorry. I really don't care for quarter. I'm gonna be honest. Like I have not really watched anything when it came down. I have not watched any film on these upcoming draft players. Like I just know the main ones right now because I just haven't had the time to really dive in to these players. But I know this upcoming week I'm gonna have to really dive in and do a lot of film study on these guys, especially if we're going to be doing a draft, you know. So I'm gonna have to really do some studying when it comes down to these guys. I'm gonna definitely look into Aiden O'Connell. If y'all have any players that y'all want me or Leo to look at, just follow us on Instagram. It just or Anthony Price hit me up on Facebook. You know how to inbox me on there, and whatever y'all feel, what player that fits the Raiders, or guys that y'all want us to look into, just send it to us. Just send it to us.
There's this show on ESPN the Mannings are doing. It's called On the Clock.
Yes, I just watched the one with Hitting Hooker not too long
Did you
ago,
watch it? Yeah.
And I watched the one with Bryce Young. Now,
Okay.
the Hitting Hooker one, I didn't know how he tore his ACL.
Mm.
And the way he tore it, I was like, shit. The way he went down against South Carolina, that I was like, yo, how the hell did he get hurt? And I never watched it until I watched, On the Clock.
On the Clock, yeah.
I have not like watched it, and I was like, yo, that's how he tore his ACL.
Mm-hmm.
But they said he's ahead of schedule, so
Yeah. Now after watching that On the Clock, it made so much sense to me why his draft stock increased. Some are
right.
even saying like late first rounder type pick for him. Yeah.
If
Now
he's
it
a
makes so
late
much
first
sense why.
rounder, I'm gonna be sick that the Raiders don't get him.
Oh.
I want him to drop it to the second. I want him to drop it to the second so bad. I really do.
I
But
mean, you could
I
always
know he has
trade in
first
to
round
the end
talent.
of the
That's
first
the thing. I
round.
know he has first round talent. I know that for a fact.
Yeah. Oh, he was
I know,
balling before he got hurt, man. He was killing it.
oh,
Yeah.
he was killing the game, man.
I
He was
still
he was
say to this
he
day,
was,
if
he was
he
the
didn't
top
get hurt,
he was the top quarterback in the draft outside of
yeah.
Stroud and Bryce Young.
If he didn't get hurt, he would be going number one. He would be the Heisman Trophy winner.
Exactly.
Mhm.
You know what though? He'll be the only Tennessee quarterback that won the Heisman because Peyton didn't even win it.
He didn't. Mm-mm.
No,
Yeah,
Peyton
Peyton
did
didn't
not
win
win
it.
it at Tennessee.
Did he Schuler win it? I remember he was a big Tennessee quarterback back in the day.
Yeah, but he never won the Heisman.
Oh, okay.
Peyton never won the Heisman at Tennessee. Hayden
And
Hooker
they
would have been the
said,
first Tennessee quarterback to do it.
yeah, see Jerome Clemens. I saw that too. That's what I'm saying. They said Minnesota might take Hooker in the first round. Hmm.
They might
Yep.
because I heard some issues. I heard some reasons behind Kirk Cousins. So I would not be surprised at that.
They're not completely in love with Kurt Thuggins.
But this will be the last topic, and we gonna head on out of here. So Just Log Baby put out a 4-round 2023 mock draft addressing the big needs.
Okay.
Now, the first one, so we're gonna start off. They said they're gonna start the 2023 4th round Las Vegas mock draft with a trade as the Silver and Black sends the number 7 overall pick to the New York Jets in exchange for a pick, and the Raiders receive not only the 13th overall pick, but also the 43 overall pick in the second round, giving them 2 picks on kickoff day 2. So that means that in this mock draft, the Raiders give up the number 7 overall pick to the Jets. We get the number 13th and we get another second pick in the second round. So we'll have 38 and 43. 38 and 43. So it says that at number 13, the Raiders select Joey Porter Jr., corner from Penn State
Okay, I'm with
at
that.
13.
Hmm.
So that's the first one there. Um, I'm not mad at that.
I
I'm
wouldn't
not
be either.
mad at that at all.
You still get one of the top
I'm
corners in the
not mad
draft.
if we drop back. We drop back a few slots to get number 13. 2 more. We get another extra draft pick in the second round. 38 and a 4
Right.
is number 30. Kalijah Cansey, defensive tackle from Pittsburgh.
Oh, okay. Is that the dude that's supposed to be like Aaron Donald? Mm-hmm.
Yes. 40-yard dash record for the position group. He has the best 40 tackle. He plays incredible passion. He has a great pass rush as a defensive tackle, and already last weekend at the tackle position. Double team. And that would definitely help out play with running backs that they have. So this pick we at number 43 will be Osiris Torrance. Osiris Torrance. If we could go and get him at number 43, I'm loving it. Mm-hmm. Get him now. Get him right now. Osiris Torrance at number 43, I'll take it. 6'5", 347. If the Raiders get Porter Jr., we are no longer friends. Oh my God, Anthony, please.
Well, what? Why the hate towards him?
Rodgers is back. Not overall pick. Guy on the show before. And this was the Raiders at Johnson from Texas A&M. Antonio Johnson, I swore we just talked about this guy not too long ago, not in the topic about that.
Mm-hmm.
I swore we had a topic about
Antonio Johnson.
Who else?
We did. We talked about safety.
Yeah. Draft. And this would be, I think this might be the last one here. Wow. The one pick. This one is interesting. I don't even.
What is it?
The 100th. I don't know this one. This guy, quarterback from Stanford.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
How you feel about that? I'm not a big fan of Tanner.
Nah, me either. So, I mean,
but I don't know. He might be a Josh McDaniels guy.
You think so?
It says just that Rodgers is going back for more years. What happened to Jordan Love? He wants to play now.
What?
You're asking the wrong person. I'm not a fan of Tanner McKee. I think is not the best. Anyone like Jordan Love for a trade? Not for the Raiders, no.
Not for us. Yeah.
I would definitely take Stetson Bennett over Tanner McKee. I'll take Stetson Bennett over McKee. And then at the number 109th pick, they have the Raiders picking Henry Tutu or Tia, whatever how you pronounce it, the linebacker from Alabama.
That would be good. Mm-hmm.
Yep. At the 109th overall pick. In the fourth round, and this is a 4-round mock draft. So to go back on. Oh, say what?
So how many players did you get in those 4 rounds?
In that 4-round mock draft, remember we number 7 overall pick to drop down to 13,
Yeah.
and we pick up the 43 overall pick. So at number 13, we get Joey Porter Jr. from Penn State. That's one.
Like it.
Then we get at number 38, Kalijah Cansey, deep tackle from Pittsburgh. That's 2.
Love it.
Then number 3, you get Osiris Torrance, at number 43 from Florida. So that's 3. And then you go and get Antonio Johnson, D-back from Texas A&M. Not a big fan of, because
Not a big fan of
that was
it, but
a topic that said we wanted to avoid getting.
yeah.
So that'll be 4. There'll be 4 picks in the 4th round in the 4-round draft. Then you get Tanner McKee, quarterback from Stanford. That's 5.
Like that one.
And then you get Henry Tutu or Toto, whatever how you pronounce it, linebacker from Alabama.
Yeah.
So that'll be 5 picks in a 4-round mock draft.
That's good. And you get good players out of it.
So the Raiders
I'm
are
not a
going
big
to
fan of
Aaron
the
Hall
quarterback.
from BYU. Yeah, Tanner McKee and Antonio Johnson is the 2 that I'm not really a big fan of.
Yeah, me
I'm not really a big fan of when it comes to that. I would switch out the number 100 overall pick for Tanner McKee and put Stetson Bennett there.
At number 100? Isn't that kind of high?
Go. My internet started. Don't mind me, y'all. I'm sorry. If you had anybody to change, who would you change though?
From those, definitely Tanner McKee. Yeah. That was what, the 100th pick?
That is a gentleman for. I don't know why this internet is acting weird. I'm happy that we're getting off right now, but thank y'all so much for being here for Nothing But Raiders podcast episode 15. We covered Josh Jacobs news. We covered so-called Trey Lance going to the Raiders, which makes 0 sense.
That makes no.
We talked about the trade for the number 3 overall pick. Yeah, and about the pick with Budda Baker and Hunter Renfro. We talked about mad stuff. We talked about mad stuff today. So, thank y'all so much for tuning in. Make sure y'all comment, like, and subscribe to the channel. Follow us on Instagram at Spotlight Football Talk. Y'all know where to find my brother at. Y'all see the name in the
right
left
there,
hand
Cheetah
corner.
Linus on IG.
Y'all see the name. Go ahead and follow him on Instagram. And make sure y'all go to SeatGeek.com and use the promo code SRT to get $20 off your first purchase. Make sure you do that. And shout out to Hard Knocks LA, man. Y'all see that?
Is that the hat you were
Hard
talking
Knocks
about?
LA. That's the hat I was talking about, brother.
My boy would like
Hard
that.
Knocks
He
LA.
likes that.
Shout out to them.
He likes them upside down logos. Yeah.
And I got a different one. I got something similar. But shout out to Hard Knocks LA for the hat. Really do appreciate it. And my draft hat just came in today. Yeah. So I will be wearing the draft hat. Did you order the draft hat? But
the white one or
make
the
sure y'all comment, like it. Yeah, the draft hat came in today. It came in today.
Oh, okay. All right. Nice.
So I ain't want to wear it. Yeah, I'm wearing that today. So yes. Is the Darian Hopkins show. I'll be doing the Knicks and the Cavs game over there and doing the Clippers and Suns game over there tonight at 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time and 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. So y'all don't want to miss that. Thank y'all so much for tuning in, man. We out of here and we'll see y'all next week. Draft week. We still gonna have the Nothing But Raiders podcast, but we're gonna be doing our watch party, man.
Yes, we is.
So we out of here. Peace, love, and blessings. See y'all next week. Yeah.